Tommy Wants a Guide Dog. Story by Christopher Warner. Illustrations by Caradwin Sage Hicks. Copyright 2020 Nakokita Books. This book is dedicated to my younger brother Clayton, who, despite his reduced eyesight, has always been capable, imaginative, and fearless. He was my inspiration and a role model when I had to face my own sight loss. Special thanks also goes to my friend and former colleague Brian, who provided the spark that led to the writing of this book. Meet Tommy. Tommy is like most 8-year-old boys. He likes to climb on the monkey bars at school, he plays games with his friends, and like many of his friends, Tommy wants a dog. But the kind of dog Tommy wants is a very special dog. He wants a guide dog, because you see, Tommy is losing his eyesight. Tommy knows a man in his neighborhood named Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones, who is blind, has a guide dog named Jasper. Mr. Jones told Tommy that his guide dog Jasper helps him cross the street safely. Jasper also helps Mr. Jones go to the grocery store, and he even helps Mr. Jones go to work. Tommy thinks having a guide dog like Jasper would help him too. But Tommy's parents told him he's too young for a guide dog yet. Tommy has a big imagination, and one day he started thinking about other animals he has seen and wondered if they would be helpful to guide him around. First, he thought about his friend's cat. Maybe he could ask his parents for a cat, and then he could train it to guide him. But then Tommy remembered the day his friend's cat got scared and ran up a tree. If Tommy was walking a guide cat and it ran up a tree, the cat would take Tommy with him, and the firemen would have to rescue Tommy and the cat. Tommy shook his head. Maybe a guide cat isn't such a good idea. Tommy thought about the day he went to the zoo with his classmates and the really interesting animals they saw there. He started imagining some of the animals at the zoo as guide animals. First, he thought about the giraffe. Would a giraffe make a good guide? A giraffe has really long legs and an even longer neck. Wait a minute. How would Tommy reach up to put the harness on the giraffe? With a ladder? No, that's silly, thought Tommy. He decided a giraffe wasn't such a good idea. Tommy tried imagining other animals. What about a hippopotamus? Would that make a good guide animal? Tommy thought about himself walking with a hippopotamus as a guide. But then he remembered seeing the hippo at the zoo go into a big pond all the way until only its eyes and ears were sticking out of the water. If Tommy's hippopotamus took him into the water, he would need a snorkel. Tommy decided that was not such a good idea either. He kept thinking. What about a monkey? Would a monkey be a good guide? Monkeys have hands and feet almost like humans. Maybe that would be fun, Tommy thought. But wait, monkeys like to swing in the trees and leap from branch to branch. Sometimes they even hang upside down with their tails. I don't have a tail to hang on like that, Tommy thought. Maybe finding a guide animal at the zoo isn't such a good idea. The next day, Tommy went for a walk in the park with his parents. As they walked, a rabbit ran across the path in front of them. That gave Tommy an idea. What about a rabbit as a guide? It might be fun to have a rabbit as a guide. We could hop around all day. That would be so much fun, Tommy thought. But then he saw another rabbit go by. He watched it move really fast. Then suddenly, it jumped into a hole and disappeared. Oh no, that would never do. I wouldn't want my guide rabbit to lead me into a hole. Tommy shook his head. One day, Tommy and his classmates went to visit Mr. Andrews' farm. He saw lots of animals on the farm. There were horses, goats, cows, pigs, and even a goose. Tommy started imagining some of the farm animals as guides. Would any of the animals on the farm make a good guide? First, he thought about the goose. The goose walked around on the farm looking very proud. It also honked a lot. Tommy thought that would be helpful to let people know he was coming. But then Tommy remembered something his teacher told the class about the goose. It flies south for the winter. I can't fly, thought Tommy. Maybe a guide goose isn't such a good idea either. Tommy also saw pigs on the farm. He liked watching the pigs in their pen, rolling in the mud and running around whenever they wanted. Having a guide pig might be fun, right? Oh, wait. If he rolled in the mud with his guide pig, his parents would make him take a bath every day. He liked bath time, but not every day, he thought. Maybe finding a farm animal as a guide isn't such a good idea after all. On a warm, sunny day, Tommy and his parents went on a trip to the mountains. On the way, they saw a bear on the side of the road. Would a bear be a good guide? A bear is pretty big, and it might scare his friends. Tommy also remembered what his dad told him about the bear hibernating in the winter. I don't want to sleep all winter. No, a bear would not make a good guide. Tommy decided a guide dog was the best idea, but his mom and dad said he couldn't get one until he's older. Until then, he would have to keep using his white cane to help him get to school and to the park. Many years passed. Tommy grew taller and became a very responsible young man. When he turned 18, Tommy's parents told him he could get a guide dog. His eyesight was getting worse, and his mom and dad knew a guide dog would be very helpful for him. This is Tommy and his guide dog Licorice. Licorice helps Tommy avoid things on the sidewalk that he might not see as he walks to school. He also helps Tommy cross the street safely. Licorice won't run up a tree like a cat, he won't fly south like a goose, and he won't hop into a hole like a rabbit. Licorice is the guide dog Tommy wanted all along. The end.